Okay, this time on this part of the video, I've got two trays. The two that I've done one, and I'll show you that one when I'm finished. I'm using a different part of the platinum range. For these ones, I'm using the 360 plus, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio by volume. I weigh it out because the beautiful Julie Cuts, who is on Pouring Your Heart Out, worked out that one part is heavier than the other, and so she's given us a scale to work on. So I weigh mine. The reason I've chosen 360 plus, it's very good for blooms, and I'm going to try a bloom on this one and a bit of an abstract on this one, but I'm pouring it differently to how I poured the other one because the other one came out a bit of a schmozzle. So just putting these here on this to keep it level. I don't want any resin spilt in the garage. So what I'm using for this one, which is the bit of the abstract, is a colour that I've made, red russet. It's really pretty, and I just made it. You don't have to waste your little bits of leftover resin. You can use A or B, mix it with pigment paste. You've got to grind it down with a mortar and pestle until it's lovely and smooth, and then you've got your own pigment paste. Don't use A and B, or you'll have resin. So A or B, make your own pigment paste. This is red russet. I'm putting that with something called, what is this one? I'm not sure, but it's pretty. Another one I've made, and I haven't given this one a name because I can't remember what powder I used. I did have it on there, but it's rubbed off. But it's a pretty one. And then this one, which is a bit glitzy. So I'm going to pour some into each of 4 cups. Mix it. And over here, in this one, I'm waiting for this to warm up because if you're going to do a bloom, it's got to be between 35 and 37 degrees Celsius. And this is only at 27. We're in Queensland, but it's cold. I actually have the heater on in the garage to try and warm that up. So I'm going to pour equal, or very sort of equal amounts here. You can't see me doing this, but that's without getting a mess everywhere like I'm doing. I want to keep a little bit to put black into so I can fill up the back of my little frame. I'm sorry for that noise. One of the neighbours up the road is having trees cut down. So putting that there, and that's for those. And I'll clean up this mess I've just made. These are just 4-ounce cups that I've used. Clean up your mess straight away so it doesn't set. And you end up with it everywhere. Right, now, let's take gloves. That off. I'm going to now remember, this one hasn't been opened. Come on, Ham. Thought I had opened this one. That's okay. Scrape off as much as I can. And then toss that into the bin. And wipe the hands again. Love doing resin, but it's very messy. Everything gets sticky. So I will stir it because it's a new pot. And this is really pretty, this one. And I'm just going to put about that much. I want it opaque. So we'll keep adding it until it is opaque. See how that goes. It's pigment paste, so you've got to make sure you get it all mixed in. See, that's still, these glitter ones tend to stay a little transparent. And normally I would put a green that is not, that would make it go opaque, but I think I'll leave this one a little bit transparent. And it does, you know what, it doesn't matter if these don't work out. They're just my planters, and the whole point of this is to save the planter from rust. So you can see my stick, so that's nowhere near opaque, but I think I'll leave that for a minute. Put the lid back on that. Get that little bit out there. Wash my hands again. And then the next one, I think what I'll do is I'll use now the red russet. I don't have a lot of this, but because I made it, it has separated. You can see the oil floating. And I think I just made this out of one part of the resins, A or B, and red russet pigment powder. And you can see it's lovely, it's like silk. Now I might put 2 lots of that in there and see how that goes. Not sure how much I'll need. And scrape the sides. Even though I have mixed this resin for the full 5 minutes, you still need to mix in the pigment paste. Because if you don't, it'll drop and won't set, and then you'll have a gooey mess to try and fix up. Now that covers the stick, so that's good. I'll put that back. Always put your lids on, otherwise you could spill it like I do sometimes. The next one, I can't give you the name because I made it. It's a pink, but on this one you can see how the resin has separated, or the part A or B has separated from the colour. So this one's going to need a really good shake up. And making your own colours and pigments is a really good way, is a really good way of saving those last little bits of resin that you can't use, the part A or B that you can't use. You always end up with more of one than you do of the other. That's a really pretty colour. Pity I can't tell you what colour it is. Now with this one, even though I've mixed it, you can see the unmixed resin on top, which would be the mica powder bursting. So I'll have to remix that. Always be careful to make sure it's mixed properly. Pretty colour. Like a watermelon, I suppose. Pretty, and that's opaque enough, so that's good. And I'll just mix this one again. And then the last one is the tawny colour. It doesn't say. It's a shame. Again, mix it well. You can see this is a thicker one. I suppose the thickness is determined by what they use to mix the pigments with. It's like a pretty goldy, bronzy colour. Mix that in. Yes, that's really pretty. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so with this, I am just going to, I'm not going to go like this like I did the last time. You'll see when you see it. It's okay, but they're very thin lines, and I want it to be more like splotches of colour. I'll just take all my sticks out. Wipe those in a minute. You wouldn't think this is going to be enough, but it will be, I think. I've measured it out to what I measured out before. Now, this one, I've got one of these laser things. Oh, so that one. So that's 33 now, 34. I've got about 5 minutes before, because I don't want it to flash cure. So with this one, I'm just going to basically put big splotches. And then resin will do what resin does best and move on its own. But it stays. There's sometimes when you pour the resin, you think, oh, if it would just stay like that, but it never does. Never does. I would just take this around here. Now, if it pulls away from the side in whatever mold you're using, it's because there's not enough resin. It needs more resin. But I know I've got enough here to do what I need. Here. And this one. Now normally this would be the back side, but for me this is going to be the top side. This will be the side you see. So I'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. But as I said, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. It's just me experimenting, having a bit of fun today, because I'm trying to save the rust from destroying the planter trays. I have to get a move on because that other resin is heating up at a fast rate of knots. Just put some splotches like that. And I'm not stirring this, I'm just going to let it do its own thing. And we'll see how the resin has moved. Now that was 357 grams of resin to fill this, which was 107 grams of B and 250 grams of A. So just clean this up, and then that will just be left. And I'll bring you back to have a look at that once it's set, which 360 takes about 4 hours to set. But having said that, it all depends on the weather. And it's pretty cold here. I mean, not as cold as some of you guys will get overseas, but for us wussy Queenslanders, it's getting pretty cold. I'll clean that up in a minute. Baby wipes are really, really good for keeping your hands from getting too sticky. So what I thought I would do with this one is put a white background. Now with a bloom, you normally put a clear black background, drop your alcohol inks in, and then put your white pigment paste. I'm not doing that. I'm going to see what temperature this is first. Split off some white for the resin. For the back bottom. Oh, 39, got to go. So I'm going to split this up into other cups. This will cool. Once you pour it, hang on, I'll get 2 of these because I want to mix some colour into these. Let's put some there, put some there, and I want a little bit for the back of that frame. So that'll do for that, I think, should. Because I'm decanting it into smaller amounts, it should slow the process down a bit, although this one's still getting hot. I have had things flash cure on me, not pleasant. So resin can tend to heat up exponentially. So it'll be slow in the beginning, but then once it starts to take off, it goes fast. So you can't muck around with it. I'm putting white into here because I want to get this poured. It's getting quite warm. There's a bigger stick. Yeah. That's good. That will do me. Oh, blast. I'm just going to pour that around. Get that off the ground. I'm hoping that this will be deep enough for a bloom. At least it's stopped heating now. I'll take this out to the edge. This may not work because it's just there's not enough. There's not enough resin in there. Maybe I'll put a little bit of that in. Mix it around. Put a little bit of this in. Mix it around. This is probably not going to work now, but it doesn't matter. So, okay. That there. Now, what I'm going to do, put the lid back on that, is I'm going for this one to mix in these two colours just for a bloom. So I'll just clean up my mess. This baking paper idea is a good idea, but I did hear from Michelle at Glitz and Glitter that a Teflon mat is really good. So I looked up Teflon mats on Temu last night, and lo and behold, they have one. So I've ordered that. I don't know when that'll get here, but it will be good to trial. But these, the baking paper is pretty good too. This hasn't been opened. These have only just arrived not long ago. I haven't tried them yet. Come on. Get off as much as I can. And put. Where's that? Oh, they must be stuck together. Right. That one and that one. So I'm going to put this again. Oh, see, now that's quite liquidy compared to the other, but there's such a pretty colour. Mix it around. Yep, that's good. And then this one, nope, this one. It won't be open either. Just gotten some of these. I will link what I can in the description. Come on now. Just throw that out. Messy business. And start. Yep, a bit thicker. But this one will tend to stay transparent. So I'll make it a bit thicker. Even in these little ones, I'm going to have to make it move quickly because it's starting to heat up. Now, what I'm going to do is put these two colours into these bags that, again, I buy from Temu. It's pretty good. Temu is actually pretty good for prices and supplies. Huge mess. So I'm going to pour this one into here. Let's do that over here. Just do that like that. Probably can't, I'm sorry if you can't see. But I've got two big pots on my table. Try and bring that one here so you can see it. Pour this one. No, you still can't. Oh. In here. Now, I may not need all of this. I'm not sure. Right, there. Now what we have to do, cleaned up our huge mess. Let's get this out. Pull it down like this. Oh yeah, that's, oh yep, that's really heating up. Now you can see that there is the resin and the tip. We're going to cut it about halfway between. I'll do that over here. And just lay that here on my white paper because it will start to drip, and it's the same as this. Squeeze it down. And halfway between the end of the resin and the tip. And then all we're going to do is, well, what I'm going to do is just do circles like this. Put that back, get the pink, tuck in the end. You don't want that dripping. Try to go in between. Without scraping your tip into the white resin like I did. That might work. The colours might work. So I don't want to waste this, so I'm just going to go round, around, round, round until there's nothing left. As I said, it doesn't work out. What does it matter? I'm not selling it. I'm not giving it away. It's just for our pot plants. Right, so that's done. I can throw that out now. And the same with this. Now these bags, you can get them on Amazon, as I said, but you can get them on Temu as well. This one might be a bit dark because I've put a lot in this one. That might be enough, I think. Just throw that in my bin. Now, for my cleanup, just clean my hands. What I'm going to do now is get one of these sticks, the dotting tool, and I'm going to draw in equal spaces. Now some people go north, south, east, west, and then halfway between. You can, if you want. This could be a really muddy mess. Oh well, that's light. And then in between them I'm going to go out. Maybe it should have been a bit lighter. And I am scraping the bottom. Normally I would say don't scrape the bottom, but I'm going to go on there as well. This is going to be the side we see. And then I'm going to do that. And that is it, guys, until it all sets, which could be tonight, it could be tomorrow. So I'll bring you back when it's time for looking at the designs. You can see this is moving a little bit, not a lot, but it is cold, and resin moves less when it's cold. I'll bring you back when we're ready to look at it. Bye. Well, it's been set. It's been about 5 hours, I suppose. This one's not bad. You can see the sparkle from the purple. Just in here, it's got the really pretty little sparkle in it. And the bloom wasn't too bad. So that's all set. I will leave it probably a week or two just so that it sets a bit more before I put a heavy plant on it. So that's that one. This one, I quite like it. It's different. I did put just a little splodge of black in a couple of places, but it's unusual the way that it's gone around and looks like rock, or not sure what it looks like, but I quite like that as well. So there's that one. And this one was from yesterday, or a couple of days ago, and you'll see what I mean. Not bad, but look, it is what it is. They're for 3 pot plants, and they will do very nicely for me, and it has saved the metal. So when that's set properly over the next few days, I'll take them in, and then we can buy another couple of pot plants to go inside and hope they survive, because that's what happens in our place. It's a matter of hoping they'll survive. This one I added to a little bit more. It's a frame, and I had to wait. It's set. We'll undo this one. I actually wanted to see what this gold was like. It was the gold from Temu. Oh, that's quite nice. And with this frame, there are some frames like this that won't give you this part in the background here. It comes out with a hole, and then you have to put some cellophane or acetate on the back and make a little pocket. This one you don't have to, but I quite like that. No bubbles. So what I'll do is I'll go around with either silver or gold, pick up the highlights and put on some diamantes, and then that will be finished as well. So that, and I did that in black. That was this chrome from Temu. Pretty true to the colour. Yeah, quite happy with that. Guys, thank you for dropping in again and spending time. If you like what you've seen and you want to see more content, I'm just beginning, please like and subscribe and share. I will link everything that I have used today that I can link for you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.